YouTube! How you guys doing today? It's Mike.
This is Faith.
Pratt Family Homestead. We are going to show Faith how to make sauerkraut today. It could not be any simpler. We're going to use this book. I do not have a crock. We use mason jars and mason tops put out by the masontops.com company. And if you use Off Grid and Doug Stacy's code OFFGRID, you can get at least a 10% discount. It has fluctuated on the holiday season up to 15, I think, but I think it's 10% discount now. So we are going to mix the purple and green cabbage. This one's out of our garden. This is a 5-pounder right here. And it's been sitting in our pantry. It's probably kind of dried out. We're going to peel some of the nastier leaves off. These two are store-bought, but mixing these two will give us this pink. And we like it bigger chunks. We've bought some other kinds that had really thin strips, and they were pretty nasty. You're falling off camera again, darling. So I'm going to show Faith how I cut it pretty big, and then we're going to mash it into the jars, and then it's going to sit for... Well, we're going to salt it. We're going to lightly massage it. We're going to massage cabbage. And then we're going to put it in the jars. And then that'll be that. So we got over 9 pounds of cabbage right here. By the time we cut out the hearts, we're going to call it 8 pounds. So how much does it say, remember in the ingredients up here? How much salt per 5 pounds?
5 pounds. Put 3 tablespoons of sea salt.
All right, so we're going to end up with probably a little over 8 pounds. Faith and I kind of did a little bit of the math. So I think we're using 4.6 or 8 tablespoons. Might just call it 5. Might just call it 5. All right, Faith, here's how I start this off. I peel a couple of the outer layers off. And you want to save some bigger, go ahead and do it this one if you want. And you want to save some bigger chunks to actually put on top of your sauerkraut. We'll save those over there. That's a good one. We'll probably end up using that one, Faith. All right, now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask you to scoot back over this way just a little. You can just... Look how cool that looks. Always love that.
A little bit more of this off.
Does it seem like you got the old layer off and stuff? So look, I cut this in fourths, and I got this little piece left here. So I just kind of cut it at a diagonal, cut it off. So I typically take the hearts out. I guess I wouldn't mind if they stayed in. Whatever works. Oh, that's fine. You're not hurting nothing. You're not going to break nothing. Go ahead and set that up there.
Here?
No. Up off that way. Yep. Okay. Now, I'm going to take this. That's about how thick we do it. Okay? Roughly, that is what we do. A lot of people like thinner. Some even like coarser. But that's about what we do. But I'm also not too picky about it. Go ahead and try cutting some. Just watch it. Get your fingers back a little bit. There you go.
Like right there?
Yeah, that'll be good. It might be a hair thicker. Okay, hold on. You got it started. Go ahead and put your hand on top of the knife. Okay. Move that off to the side. Oh, you should watch your fingers. Okay, go ahead and get that one started. Hold it with your fingers. Like dig your fingernails in, like down here even. And just get it barely started. There. No. Makes me so nervous with the knife. Oh, and it's not her. It's just me worried we're dead. Probably get the knife and cut this one a little. As long as they're separated, we're not going for perfection here. There's nothing right, nothing wrong here. We're just trying to separate them a little bit, okay? And once it's separated, go ahead and push them off up there. A lot of things like the book says to use a bowl. I've just cleaned the counter and we push it onto the counter. That's good, Faith. Just push it up on the counter. Like I said, there's no like being perfect about this or anything. All right, guys, stay tuned. There's going to be a whole lot of this going on. Once we get all this cut up, then we'll start making the actual kraut, all right?
Okay.
All right. So Faith just made the comment, let me see your hands, that they are turning purple, and they really are. I don't know if it comes out. I think it does come out on camera, but my hands are always purple after making it. All right, while Faith is back there doing her slice and dice stuff, ooh, Faith with a knife. This is not fruit punch. This is the brine left over from that batch. And Tangi at Freedom Homestead had said that she only makes kraut with the brine. And then I've talked to Amy Fuel a lot also, and she has talked about how, I don't think we were talking about sauerkraut in particular, but using previous brine could really help inoculate, really help give it a jump start on the fermenting that needs to happen. So I'm not going to do a lot. I am going to put a little bit of this into the sauerkraut that we're making today. Maybe a third, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to totally play it by ear, but that's what we're going to do, and it should work out just fine. I'm kind of curious if we'll notice any difference, if it's fermented faster. I don't know. Usually we don't put a brine in our sauerkraut. Usually we squeeze all the juice out from the sauerkraut. So we'll see. And not only are we putting a brine in today, we're putting brine from our other batch of sauerkraut. So be kind of interesting. All right. Faith is getting 4.5 tablespoons of sea salt into a bowl to get ready for us while I finish cutting this cabbage. All right, guys, we got it all cut. We ran out of sea salt, so I added some some kosher salt. You definitely don't want to use table salt that's been refined and iodized and all that stuff. So, anyways, what we're going to do, if we're going to start, we're going to sprinkle a little bit of salt all over this. I should do this in sections. And Faith is going to start just kind of massaging it, getting the salt worked into it, and it's going to start feeling liquidy. Like right now, Faith, it feels pretty dry, doesn't it? Yeah, so it's going to start feeling really wet here in a little bit. Okay, so start over here, start massaging that in. I'll start massaging this side in. So while you're massaging it, you're also breaking it apart. So if you miss breaking it apart, see how fast I'm going? You're just going, sister. You're just going. You're not being careful. Now what I consider lightly massaged, because I honestly think it helps keep it crunchy. There's been some batches where I feel like I can tell that I was a little rough with it or whatever. Can you feel how wet it's getting?
Yes.
Okay. Here, take a piece of this purple cabbage.
Okay.
Salted cabbage. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love making sauerkraut. Because I nibble on salted cabbage. Okay, so we've got it all mixed up pretty good. It's all, liquid's already being drawn out of it like crazy. Faith is going to pack it into these jars. Can you show them the pickle packer? Mom got me this. Can you lift it up a little? Back it up a little. Mom got me that as part of a Mason Tops kit for Christmas this year, and I'm loving it. We used to use wooden spoons or something like that to push this down. This thing is phenomenal, isn't it? Faith already used it. In fact, I think Faith used it more than me.
I was the first one to use it.
You were the first one to use it. All right, so go ahead and just start getting handfuls and putting it in there. I usually use that thing too. Hey, another key thing is make sure your equipment is super, super clean. I've already scrubbed these jars out, so it's been cleaned. Okay, go ahead and use that packer, push it down in there. In fact, this actually, some other stuff I was playing with is on the next jar, darling. Why don't you fill it up a little, pack it down. Fill it up a little, pack it down. Hey, make sure that jar does not kick out on you like that, okay? Let me see if I can push any more. I'm just curious. You got it in there pretty good there. Okay. Oh, Salted cabbage break.
Have a piece?
Yeah.
I like salted purple cabbage better. It has more flavor.
You like the purple better? All right, so you guys get the idea of what's going on here. We'll be back in a couple minutes. All right, we're already getting tons of liquid out of these. You can see this line right about there. Is that right, Faith? Mm-hmm. Go ahead and push on it pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, I think you guys can see that. We are going to go ahead and add brine. I've got the liquid in this one up pretty high too. Let me see. You can see that it goes there to the top already. But we are still going to add some of the last batch's brine. It still looks like Kool-Aid. In fact, me and all the kids took a slug off of that. And it tasted, how did it taste?
Salty.
It was very salty. So we really don't need that, except here's what else adding that brine will do. We really packed these in. And going back to the massage thing, I feel like we packed these in so hard that I might have created a little bit of a mushy product. So if we quit packing it and just add some brine, that might save it from getting a little mushy too. I don't mind the mushy, I just prefer to eat my sauerkraut and hear a crunch. Would you rather hear a crunch or not?
Hear a crunch?
Yeah, you want it crunchy, right? Okay, so we're going to wrap this up for you guys. Faith's going to add a little bit of this brine from the last batch. Go ahead, darling. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Get this thing jump started. All right, stop. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, next one. That's how much juice we already have in there. Look how much full it gets so fast. That's good. Awesome. That's so awesome because we're going to extract even more juice out of here. So we decided to go ahead and put the cabbage leaf on top. So what the cabbage leaf is going to do, here, you get that one, I'll get this one. What it's going to do is just help hold down little chunks so they don't come up floating. Because those floating chunks will have the potential. So we got this lock here, right? We got the air locks, or this system. But there is a potential of floating pieces to come up and mold. So the cabbage is trying to hold down, this leaf is holding down the rest of that. Go ahead and put one of these on, darling. Yep, just drop it in there.
Do I push it in?
Nope, it's fine. Put that on.
It's already starting to suction cup.
Yep, that's good. That means that little air lock piece, that little whatever you want to call it, is working.
Pickle pebble?
No, not the pebble.
The pipe?
The pipe. The pickle pipe. Pickle pebble pipe packer. What?
It's a pickle pipe and pickle packer.
Wow! Awesome. So then on these, I just put these, I used to really crank down on these, but then the pressure builds and you'll even get fluid that leaks out of these. So make sure you have it sitting, like we have it on a tray in our closet. Make sure that, anyway, so it would leak out and dry and make these so hard, but I don't crank on them anymore. I just get them a little bit closed. Now, what you do want to do, especially if you're not adding brine, the next 24 hours, you really want to be squishing down on this. You really want to be getting all the juices out of there that you can so that it's filled up, the levels stay good, and all that. After about 24 hours, you don't have to worry about it too much. But I think tomorrow morning, we'll go ahead and take a look at these, okay, Faith?
Okay.
And then we're not too worried about it because we filled it with the brine, or we put some brine in there from the last batch, which is totally awesome. I'm kind of geeked about that actually. So, but what we might do tomorrow is we might get this back out because I know you are kind of like, yeah, let me beat some stuff, and maybe go ahead and squeeze down on it a little bit and just make sure everything's good. Okay.
Okay.
All right, guys. Here it is the next day. Faith has gone and got these out of the cupboard, and they were leaking fluid. Oh, brine all over the place.
This one was leaking. Oh, and that was leaking too, I guess.
What it's doing is it's bubbling up. It's starting its thing. It's fermenting, and it's coming up out of this lid. And then you want to keep an eye on it over the next couple days. Make sure no brine is leaking out like it is now, and the level's getting too low. Make sure that, I imagine some even evaporates as the gases come out of here. Look at this one. Is this one still poofy?
Yes.
I actually released the pressure out of here by pressing in on this nipple a little bit. And I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but it's bubbled up with gases. This thing's already working. And I'm kind of wondering if it's already working due to the brine from the other batch that we added to it. So that's all the built up pressure in there. This thing is cooking. I don't know if you guys can see the bubbles. There's the bubbles coming up through here. It's already cooking. That's rather impressive, really. Usually we don't see bubbles for a couple days, but I think adding that already activated brine into there is pretty cool. Okay, so we went ahead and took the lid off, and this thing is super full, just like we guessed. I'm gonna go ahead and dump some of this out in the sink, and then we are gonna go ahead and use the packer. I do believe with using this that we will still get some natural juices out of the cabbage. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. But at first I need to drain this off, and I need to get this pickle pebble out of there. In fact, Faith, do you think you could gracefully get that pebble out of there? Or I'm gonna drain it first. I'll drain it first, it'll be a little easier.
Yeah.
So real quick for reference, I went ahead and drained this. And I think what I would do is if I needed to add brine to this and I didn't have some already from a previous batch, I would mix 2 tablespoons of salt, salt that has not been iodized, not table salt, but like we used all natural sea salt here. 2 tablespoons of salt mixed with 1 quart of water, and if you needed to add some brine, that's what I would use to mix it, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. Faith, go ahead and take that out. You can go ahead and use a fork if you want. Get it over one edge and then help you get it out. Don't splatter that all over yourself. What is that face you're making? You're looking kind of scared. Nothing to be scared of. It's sauerkraut.
Oof, it's splattered.
Go, just use the fork.
There you go.
Just set it down on the side. Look at all this mess that's already come out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. And now, try squeezing down. If it gets too full. Now we still have the cabbage leaf in there. We'll leave that in there, but look at all that goodness. Good job, darling. Go ahead and do it again. And you know what? I think we will go ahead and do the same thing tomorrow because I think this just does nothing but help.
Again?
Yeah. Let me do a little too. Go ahead, go with me. Awesome. Okay, just set that down on the paper towel. Go ahead and put that pickle pebble back in there. Don't let it splash. Put it in sideways. So what I meant was a good way to do it is tip it up and then just let it kind of fall in a little bit. Okay? Go ahead and put this lid back on. And we're going to leave that. We're going to be back in here tomorrow. And if I decide to add brine tomorrow, like I said, I'm going to mix 2 tablespoons of salt with a quart of water, and I'm going to add some brine if I decide I need to, because I don't have any more of the other ones. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this one.
Tomorrow, do you think that one's going to be full of that gas?
More juices and gas?
Yeah.
I do.
So that's it for today. We're probably going to use this and mash it down some more. And
What, for probably the next day, maybe 2 days?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it should be done in the next 2 to 4 weeks. It's really up to you when it's done, whenever you like it. And
When we've had it as early as 2 weeks before, and it was good. 4 to 5 weeks, we really like it. And we've had it at 6, 7, 8 weeks even, and excellent. Some people, did you know, some people will harvest their cabbage. Oh, please don't kick it. Some people will harvest their cabbage. They'll make big 5-gallon buckets of this, and they'll keep it in their basement all winter. And whenever they want some, they'll go get a little jar, and they'll fill up the jar and put it in the fridge, and they'll just keep it going all winter until it's all gone. Even spring, summer. You got anything else, darling?
it was fun.
It was fun, and now you know how to make it. Do you remember the numbers from yesterday? Pop quiz. You ready? How many tablespoons of salt per 5 pounds of cabbage?
3.
She's a great learner. What's another question I want to ask you? Say goodbye. You got anything else to say?
Bye.
I guess she has nothing else to say. Hey, thanks, guys. Hopefully this was helpful. Let us know if you try making some sauerkraut and how it turns out. I know in our group, Pratt Pack on Facebook. I think technically Pratt Pack, Pratt Family Homestead Friends. We've been having people tell us that they've been trying fermenting mixed veggies and stuff that we've, I guess, inspired them. And so people are trying stuff out. So if you try it, let us know. If you got other methods, let us know. We like to try all kinds of new stuff. So, all right, guys, talk to you later. Bye.
You can check us kids out on Instagram.
Oh, she's right. It's kids_Pratt_family_homestead. So Pratt Family Homestead, just with the kids in the front. So
Kids
check
Pratt
them out.
Family Homestead.
Yep. All right. Thanks, guys.